Hey.
All right. My microphone's facing the wrong direction.
We live. It's Masters of None, episode 14.
Masters of None, episode 14. Oh my God, I almost, cardinal sin, I almost had my fucking mic on top of the table. I always like to keep my mic here. I know if you guys go back like other episodes, you'll notice that like, I think episode 1, my mic was like here. I've been evolving.
This is it's a constant work in progress.
Yeah. And I now successfully have gotten some kind of dirt in my eye. When I whipped around, I guess, in this stupid chair, this must have been some kind of particles flying through the air because I've now got.
You're all good. Look, it's about adversity. Let's see how you respond to this adversity.
You know what? You know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
I'm not going to react to it at all.
I thought you were going to put seltzer in your eye.
I can't even help it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Is that like a human like reflex here?
No, I mean, I'm afraid.
Don't rub it. Give yourself.
I know, scratch my cornea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be alright. We're gonna be alright. I'm not worried about it. It's getting over it right now. How do we sound?
Sound clean, bro.
Sound good?
Sound clean, bro.
Yeah, mission accomplished. Finally, I know it's like 14 episodes.
14 episodes to get the start.
To get the intro right, and we still didn't really get it right, you know.
Listen, it's never gonna be perfect, man.
No, it's never gonna be perfect, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Young Jamie,
yeah,
suck it.
Yeah, we need you. We need what
we don't fucking need you.
Can we get like a young Jorge,
yeah,
or a young
Jaime,
a young Jose? I want to get something out of the way that I've been wanting to ask you since I seen the news yesterday.
First of all, what you been up to, bro?
Okay, perfect. You're right. Personal stuff first, right?
What you been up to?
Nothing, honestly. It's so interesting because people can't really do much of anything now. So when anybody tells you like any little thing they did, it's like a fucking big deal. Like if you go skiing right now, went skiing 3 years ago, nobody gave a fuck. You go skiing now and people want to hear about it.
You're a fucking hero.
Tell me, oh my God, were there people there? Yeah. That's the first thing people fucking ask you, right? Were there other humans where you went? It's like, I went there.
Fucking people. There's people that are fucking normal.
Going to different places gets different reactions. You tell somebody you went to the movie theater, because movie theaters are open right now.
Yeah.
But if you tell somebody that's right on the edge of fucking, being on the edge of COVID, and you tell them you went to the movie theaters, forget about it, bro.
They'll judge you.
Yeah. It's like going to a brothel.
Yeah, or like a Turkish bathhouse.
Yeah, what's a Turkish bathhouse? The fuck is that? Is that like a sex position?
No, it's like an old school like bathhouse where you go and like wash your balls, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
when I went to Peru, I didn't want to go into like the hot springs. There was just a gang of people just like showering,
sweating and pissing in there, and
it just looked like it was like the water was like murky. It was like weird, and they're like, "Come on, get in there," and I was just like, "No."
You're like, "Nah, bro, I'll pass."
Yeah, but my girl was in there rubbing the dirt on her face. They said that shit like makes
the mud.
Yeah, the mud.
Yeah, that's what they say. I saw that shit.
Rubbing that mud on her face. Go ahead. I keep interrupting you. What are you gonna say?
Nah, you're good, man.
What about you, man? What have you been doing?
I actually wanted to go back to what you were saying about people looking at you weird about where you went.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I went to visit my cousin up in Cape Cod.
Yeah.
You believe that I had to park my truck in the backyard because, like, in the back of the driveway, because he was like, "Yo, people might see it and be like, oh, New York plates and shit." Like,
yeah.
Did he quarantine? Are you guys quarantining?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I'm like, fuck off, everybody with that.
That's the truth.
I'm so over that shit. Like, let's keep it a buck. Everybody that was going to die from COVID is already dead.
That's why nobody else is dying.
Everybody's already dead. Yep. It was like the COVID rapture.
Yeah. That shit
was a lot of people. Some people needed to go.
Yeah.
And the virus came and some people went.
You know what's interesting about the people who've died? None of my people have called me up talking about they hit a bunch of money off their relative who died. Nobody I know.
Nobody hit a lick off.
Nobody hit a lick off of nobody's money, which is interesting because a lot of times somebody dies and somebody will get a new Benz. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what happened is a lot of people that died are poor. Keep it a stacks, and a lot of minority people.
A lot of minorities.
Away,
it took a lot of minorities.
Because what happens is I think it really hit a lot of people that live in close quarters. Yeah. And what happens is rich people with their big ass houses and shit like that, and with like
4 people in the house.
Exactly, 4 people in a 8-bedroom house. You know, you guys are quarantined accidentally. They socially distance typically. Like little Johnny eats dinner in his bedroom on his iPad.
Yeah,
you know what
dude, were you allowed to eat in your room as a kid?
No, we had to, but when I was real young, we all ate at the dinner table. And then as time went on, we kind of, some of us moved to like the living room. You know what I'm saying? Like my sister would like be out with her friends, you know, during dinner. And then it wasn't really super strict. When I look back now, I kind of miss that. I think that when I have a family, I'm going to be that weirdo. Like, it's Sunday dinner. God damn it.
My mom does that every fucking Sunday, bro.
It's important, man. It's important. I mean, now that I'm in my 30s and shit.
Yeah, I don't want to go.
You know, it's, I don't know. I kind of, I miss that idea. And I think that I'm going to instill that in my kids when I have kids.
I think it's cool to have dinner together. As much as you can.
Yeah.
When I grew up, my parents came home late. So
yeah, I mean, my dad worked late a lot when I was real young. And then, you know, as I got older, he didn't. And, you know, we would eat together. But then my sister grew up. You know, you hit those teenage years. She had a boyfriend, so she wouldn't be around.
Yeah, I think as you grow up, that's what happens. Like when you're a child, you have all the time in the world. But when you grow up, you have less and less time.
And you have nowhere to go.
But we could go back to the conversation about you parking behind in the back of the driveway.
No, that's really it. That's really it.
But,
you know? But I just found it funny that it's like if you have an out-of-state plate, you're kind of like, they look at you funny.
Not only out-of-state, but when you got that New York plate,
yeah,
it's when my dad moved to Puerto Rico. You know, he kept his New York plate for like the first year he was living there.
Oh shit,
stunting. I feel like a New York plate is a flex. I might be biased.
It's an accidental flex, but you know, New York is still the shit. Even though New York is in the toilet right now, and you know, rent's down 30%, but still costs $4,000 a month for a studio apartment.
Ridiculous.
I mean, New York has dipped in terms of productivity and stuff, but it's still always seen as kind of the mecca of getting money.
Yeah. Even though we're like a large state that only utilizes like a small percentage and only a small percentage is popping.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the whole state's popping.
Have you ever seen the layout of votes like Democrat versus Republican in New York?
Yeah.
The entire state is red except for Manhattan.
Yeah, exactly. The lower half, downstate.
It's this.
But there's more people in that little cunt hair than there is in the entire fucking state. So.
And that's why there's so much COVID.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because people live on top of each other.
Because people live on top of each other.
It's absurd.
You know, and a lot of us can't afford, because the rent is so high, a lot of us can't afford to stop working.
We're doing Stella today, or I'm doing Stella.
What does it say? What's the second word? Stella what?
Stella
Artois.
Artois. It's not French. It's Belgian. So I don't really know how you say that, but I should probably Google that. I mean, I drink enough of it to be able to, I should be able to pronounce it.
Yeah, and I'm sipping on that Polar 100% natural seltzer, calorie-free, ruby red grapefruit. Not my favorite flavor.
Grapefruit sucks. Keep it a stack.
It's lime is the only one worse than this. And I liked the lime for a long time because I thought it tasted like Sprite. But I've grown up now. I'm a blackberry man. I'm a blackberry, and I also really enjoy...
Black cherry?
Black cherry, excuse me, not blackberry. Black cherry. Black cherry, I really enjoy. And I also enjoy cranberry lime.
Cranberry lime.
Cranberry lime is delicious. Yo, you know, I went to a restaurant a couple weeks ago, and they charged me for seltzer water?
Yo, it's post-COVID is way different, bro. There's no drink specials. Happy hours are weird because they have to make up cost.
There wasn't even like a thing for it in the computer. They were like syrup drink. It was like syrup drink. And I was like, what's this syrup drink? And they're like, oh, it's your seltzer water. I was like, this is just what, like,
it's water with air in it.
Not only that, but they don't buy it because the fountain drink machines, one of them will dispense water.
Yeah.
And one of them will dispense seltzer water. I know this because I worked in one of these environments where we used to use seltzer to clean the grill at night.
Yeah. Seltzer's good for a couple of purposes. I didn't know that. Club soda and stuff is good to get stains out.
Yeah,
like
but they charged me like it was like a regular drink. I got multiple ones because you know me, I'm just cramming down this shit. And I've got like 3 or 4 of them.
Man, it was a crazy night, huh?
Yeah, big night.
Fucking wild night.
Yeah, I walked out of there hydrated.
Yeah, I
completely hydrated. It was crazy. I was totally hydrated. It was insane.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. What else is going on? I know I'm not really too specific about what I do, but I got a new job.
You got a new job.
I'm leaving my old job.
I wish I had a fucking the sound bars or whatever the fuck they are. You know what they are. You know what I'm talking about. Those boxes that light up with colors.
You want to hit me with the DJ Camelo like beep, 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 beep.
I would have definitely threw a couple bombs and then the applause at the end. Yeah. Where you were like, I got a new job. I would have and then I would have clapped at the end of it.
Yeah, so I don't get into details about, but yeah, I'm moving on to a different position. I'm moving.
I'm happy for you, man. You think?
I'm leaving my original company and going to.
How do you feel about that? Moving from one company to another.
To be honest, it's a little scary. I mean, I've been with this company for a long time.
Yeah.
So, it is scary. Like I got to be honest with you, I'm a little perturbed. Yeah. But at the same time, no great man is built in comfort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, the truth is that and this is like for life. In order to grow, like you have to create your success. Success doesn't just get built on its own. Like exactly. You have to go out there and get it. No one's going to come and give it to you. And I've had this conversation with people on my job because I have a date, right? I have a date of when I know I will no longer work there, like no matter what.
Like in your mind?
Yeah, in my mind.
You have like a move on date.
I have a date that I want a job by. And if I don't have a job by that time, then I need to step it up,
Okay.
I need to something needs to be happening by that time. And if nothing happens by that time, I'm going to start looking like everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for something specific.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen by then I'm not going to be as specific anymore. And I'm going to look, other companies, other departments, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And
that's a good way to think.
Yeah, it's a 2-year mark for me. That's what it was.
That's exactly where I'm at in my specific position.
I said I'm gonna do 2 years in this position, and then I'm gonna expect promotion, or I will begin looking for other jobs. And it's not a threat, right? It's a
personal goal.
My personal goal, yeah.
For personal growth. I understand.
Exactly.
That's why I'm, moving on myself.
So you have this time to figure out what you want to figure out with me. That set the expectation from the time I got the job. And they agreed with me in the beginning, and I think they still agree with me. But unfortunately with COVID, I think we're in a position where you don't have a choice. Like they can't, like things aren't moving around. Like there's not a job here to give you,
Yeah.
So, but I'm still, what month are we in?
We're in February.
I'm still 7 months away. So from now to then, things could happen and things could change. And
but it's good to be thinking about this.
Oh, but and this is what I was getting to. I had a conversation with somebody else, and they were talking about job opportunities, and if I thought that there was going to be some coming up. And I said, honestly, I don't really think so right now. I don't think there's going to be any job opportunities. I don't think you're going to lose your job. But I don't think like there's going to be job opportunities. And I said I worked in IT before, so I'll say it like I'm in IT. Like no one's going to like they'll always need us. Like we're not going anywhere. Yeah. Even if I downgrade and go do something like simple, like you're always going to have a computer in your house. You're always going to have a computer in the company, no matter where you go.
Yeah, for sure. We're always going to need to access pornography and things like that, no matter what.
People gotta beat off.
Yeah,
those things will go last. The porn and stuff like that, that's what goes last. So I was like, we're not gonna get fired. I said, but there's not gonna be any jobs coming up. I said, this is what I'm doing, and I told her the same exact thing I'm telling you about, like the date or whatever. And they thought it was kind of like, nah, I don't know. I was like, listen, I'm not going to leave it in anybody's hands to create some success for me. I'm not going to leave it in it. It's not their job to make sure. Are they trying? Yeah, they're trying. If they can't do it, I have to do whatever I have to do to, succeed.
Agreed.
And it's not, I can't rely on you to make me successful, right? You're trying to be successful. You can't make us both successful. Oh yeah, you made Hove. Go ahead then, make another Hove.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you made Hove. Make another Hove.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
that. They can't fucking do it. Like I got to do it myself.
Yeah.
That's a fact. It just goes to the point that it's great for you that you're moving on to something else, and I hope you enjoy it even more than what you're doing right now. And I know the schedule alone it makes it worth it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I applied for multiple jobs in the company that I'm in now. I'm more than qualified for every position that I applied for. Nobody contacted me back. I followed up. Nobody contacted me. So I was like, see this right here in my own mind. I'm like, this is like a mini flex by this company. I feel like that, this is what we got. This is what we have. We kind of don't really have to, we don't really need to offer you anything else, which to me, I understand that the role that I play now is important, and it's not the easiest thing to just fill or let somebody move on from that position, especially with COVID going on and stuff like that. I understand that the way companies are right now, they're kind of weary about that.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, I can't wait for anybody to make an opportunity for me. Like I've been applying for months now to try to move to a different position, move to somewhere that I feel is more suitable for my skill set and also more suitable for my lifestyle and my work-life balance. And mind you, I'll go as far as to say this: I work overnight, and that shit is taxing. And I've done it for 2 years now.
We're not designed to be up all fucking night.
We're not.
There's a reason why there's certain animals. Nobody tapped them on the shoulder and said, you're doing the night shift, owls. Or fucking raccoons or possums or all those nocturnal animals. They do that naturally. And you know what we do naturally at night? We fucking sleep because it's fucking dark. That's why we can't see at night. If you can see in the dark, stay up all you want.
That was going to be my point. I was like, they're even evolved to have different senses and like the balance between their cones and rods, because that's what gives you night vision versus day vision, is you have a different number of cones versus a different number of rods in your eye. So that's what gives you that reflection back from like cats and from raccoons and nocturnal animals. When you look at them and you see that reflection in their eyes in the nighttime, they are designed to see at night. We are not designed to see at night. So we are not designed to function at night. We have not evolved to a point where nighttime functioning is optimal for us. So I've done it for years, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to move on to these other spots, these other positions. And I was not contacted back. And I followed up and stuff, and they're like, oh, we'll get back to you, but so I had to move to another company that did give me such an opportunity and did feel that it was a great fit. And, so it's like, sometimes you have to do that. I can't let a company feel that they are the people in control of
your destiny,
my destiny. Like, absolutely not. Just because I've been here for years, and mind you, I've been with this company for years. Given the position I'm in now, I've been in for 2 years, but I've been with this company 10 plus years. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah. Fact.
So, and I have to move on. I don't care if I've been there that long. You're not going to control me. People thought I was crazy. Like, people are like, oh my God, you've been here so long. I'm like, that has nothing to do with anything. Wherever I go, I have the confidence I'm going to succeed.
I don't get that. You're not in a fucking union. You know what I'm saying? You don't got 30 years in the union and you're leaving the union. Fuck off. What do you mean? I will take my fucking 401k and I will bring it over there. And guess what? I'm in the same boat.
Yeah,
There's no difference. Like, I don't understand what people are fucking...
And I'm going to be working a different schedule, much more set schedule that is much more appropriate, like I said, for my work-life balance. So therefore, everything else is going to be looking up. My jiu-jitsu training is going to be more set. I'm going to be able to do everything that I like to do more. I'm going to have every single weekend off, which to me, I try not to focus on like weekends, blah, 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 because I feel like when you're looking so forward to the weekend, you need to be doing something else for the other days during the week.
You know who says that? Guys who fucking work the weekends, because I don't work the weekends, and guess what? It's fabulous.
Yeah, I know. Just for like family events and things like that. Like, I'm just looking forward to, not missing my best friend's kids' christenings, not having to call in sick for the fucking Super Bowl. Like, get out of here.
Those are the times where things are going on, because a lot of people work the other days, and even the people who don't work the other days, even the people who work the weekends, they'll take the weekend off to throw an event. So, those are the days. It's Saturday, Sunday.
That's when weddings are. That's when big life events take place.
Yeah.
You know what's during the week?
Work.
Fucking funerals.
Damn.
That's the event that you get to make.
That's so true. That's true, bro.
You get to go to wakes if you're off during the week.
Yeah.
Like, that's the
Wednesdays
only
are always funerals.
Yeah. Wednesdays, fucking rainy.
I want my shit to be like on a Thursday, like a Latin night.
I want my shit to be on a Saturday night.
Saturday night. Yo, don't show up till 10. Oh, whoa.
Don't show up till 10.
Yeah. You know what I want? And I have this on record now that I'm saying this on here. I want it when I die, I want you to go through my contacts. And if I haven't spoken to you in the last 90 days, you cannot come to my fucking funeral.
Yo, that's facts. That's facts.
I'm in 90 days. I've said like 30 days before, but now I'm putting it on record. I give you 90 days.
Yeah.
If you have, and that doesn't mean you need to call me. Don't talk to me. If you don't talk to me, don't start talking to me now. Because
don't start punching your ticket to my funeral now.
Yeah, because I uninvited you and shit.
Yeah,
look at my shit. And if you ain't talked to me in the last 90 days, and we don't have the same last name, you may not attend.
Yeah, for sure, bro. There's certain things I have. Like, I gave my girl the password to my computer and had to access all my music files and all the art and shit that I've made. And I'm like, yo, I know that when I go, I'm gonna have Grammys and shit.
There's gonna be something in here.
It's ridiculous. And I'm like, yo, it's like I have all this work and all this art and all this music and this production that I've created. And I haven't gotten it to the right people and this and that, but I know that when I go, she's gonna drop that shit and I'm gonna have fucking Grammys and shit.
Yeah,
so I told her, I was like,
especially if
this catalog is for you. This catalog is for you. And I told her the password and everything, and I'm like, this is how you get in. And I'm like, yo, call my boy Dave. He's gonna know.
He's gonna know what to do.
He's gonna know how to bounce out all these sessions and break down all these stems. He's gonna know how to do that.
My dad will call me twice a month and say, Bobby, he said, you still remember that information I gave you about my insurance and shit in case I die?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, Dad, I got it. I remember. Don't worry. I wrote it down. My dad's always on the cusp of death. He always thinks he's dying.
Yo, my parents are the same way, bro. They got this firebox and shit. And they have this whole process. My dad's like, Jay, this is why you're on the accounts. When we die, you don't have to produce a death certificate. You go to this, you go here, you close the accounts. That's what you do. He said they shouldn't ask you anything. You take this. He's like, this is the money here. Like, my parents have plots, bro.
Yeah, so do mine.
My parents are like, yo, you're not going to have to deal with shit. Just open this box and follow the instructions.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, they were like, you're not going to have to deal with all kinds of shit. They were like, because that they like do not support when like parents go without preparing their kids, and then their kids have to figure out what to do.
Live with their fucking the debt of the having
through
to bury
their grievance
them.
And their grieving of losing their parents. Like they have to figure out the fucking business pretty much at that point. You got to sit down with a business mind.
Do you want your organs? You keeping those puppies? What are you doing?
Well, as it stands now, I have them because who knows? Who knows if you're an organ donor, if they just let you go. So they could just take your kidneys and
I'm
shit.
not going to say anything, but I'm 100%. Two things. If you ain't got the money, you could burn me, right? That's one.
I'm
cool with that, right?
Same. My dad wants to be cremated. He said he don't want no motherfucker that didn't like him standing over him talking about, he looks good. He was like, fuck that.
Yeah, if you ain't got the money, you could burn me. But my other thing, and this is like a two-part thing, why I don't donate my organs, because I don't want to be like on the cusp of living, and they're like, damn, but his organs are good. If we put them on the van, they might not stay good. You know, they might spoil.
Yeah.
Nope. Let them go.
Yeah.
Or B, if they figure out how to bring me back, I need to have those things.
Yo, for real, son.
If they figure out a way to fucking bring me back and I'm missing some fucking lungs and then they can't bring, I'm not a candidate.
Yeah.
Guess what's going to happen? There's going to be some dickhead's going to have a fucking Excel spreadsheet, right? And there's going to be a column that says, or no organs and organs. And it's going to be like, yes or no. And he's going to fucking filter yes. And then all those other motherfuckers don't get to come back. Right? If they start
so
bringing
he doesn't
people
fit
back,
into the matrix.
Yeah, exactly what it is. There's going to be a fucking pivot table somewhere, and there's going to be a fucking slither of people who cannot come back because they wanted to fucking save some fucking dude who was stabbed 13 times.
We could bring him back, but it's going to cost too much to keep him going.
Yeah,
he's gonna need respiratory assistance. We're gonna have to put him on a vent. We're gonna have to.
This guy got no kidneys.
This new external lung system that we've developed.
Yeah.
It's no good.
They took 3/4 of his dick skin for somebody's burn. Somebody needed a skin graft.
You got a hell of a fucking hog if they're taking a fucking skin graft from your dick for somebody.
They fixed somebody's foot with that thing.
Hilarious.
The top of somebody's foot.
I'm gonna tell you, you just fucking made me think this is gonna take me back. Bro, I was watching Botched with my girl. You ever see
like
that show?
Yeah. Yo, doctor, the fucking, what's his name? That doctor.
The two guys.
The short guy.
The guy whose wife was on like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I like him.
Yo, those dudes, there was a chick that she had like a skin graft, but it was like the skin graft was from like ball hair or something like that. It was like on her face, it was like scrotum or something.
It was nutsack?
Yo, you could so tell it was nut skin. You could
shrivel up when it got cold.
It was wrinkly and shit.
You got the rhino skin?
Yo, it was something like that. It was like nut skin, or it was like some kind of taint skin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rare.
Yo, and it still had like pubic hair growing out of it and shit. Yo, it was dark. It was like darker down there.
I was watching a fucking documentary on like Korea and shit, and they were saying listen, this is gonna sound fucked up, but dog leather makes like the best golfing gloves. Can you imagine if they found out that like nutsack skin made like good like fucking football gloves or something like that?
They'd be poaching motherfuckers.
They'd be nutsack football gloves.
They'd be fucking poaching people.
Or the inside of the baseball mitt or something like that.
Oh shit!
It's like lightweight.
Made the best fucking like seats for the Teslas.
Oh my god! You know how many nuts? It's like chinchillas. Chinchillas ain't big, right? I don't think. Do they get big? They don't get big,
You
right?
need like 45 chinchillas to make a fucking glove.
40. Yeah, it's exactly.
To make like the sleeve of a fucking coat. That's what happens. One chinchilla glove like decreases the population by like fucking 10,000.
Oh my god, bro! You gotta have. They must be farming chinchillas.
Yo, it's mink too. Minks
What
are
is
small.
a fucking mink?
Yo, it's a small animal. It's a
like a
small
little
animal, but it's a
fucking-
predatory animal. Like they like hunt small game and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it's pretty brutal what they do. Like
Where-
they take the fur while they're alive, because if not, it ends up you know, like it's like crabs and lobsters. Like when you cook them, you throw them in the water when they're alive, because if not, once death sets in, it starts decomposition of the muscle and shit like that. So what happens with a mink is if you kill it first and then skin it, it ends up causing like it starts to the skin and tissue starts to break down like it almost immediately. So it's like they skin them alive. It's like a brutal process. Like I've never seen it, but I've read about it, and it's really fucking bad. Like
what?
Yeah, bro. Like I can't front like people that are opposed to fur. I can't even argue with them. Like typically I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. I eat steak. You fucking go eat your salad. But when it comes to that's some pretty brutal shit.
You eat foie gras?
I've never had it, but I would.
You know how they fucking make that shit?
No, I don't actually.
You know what it is, right?
It's duck liver.
It's duck liver. So a regular duck liver is like, you know, like this big, a little bit bigger. A foie gras, it's fucking French. So if
It's
I was
bigger,
pronouncing
right?
it wrong, go fuck yourself. Yeah, dude, they're like it's like a fucking skirt steak.
Jeez,
bro.
that's like
it's
a human liver?
And you know how they do it? They force feed the duck.
Oh wow.
Until the liver just gets so fucking fatty and enormous. That's why it's so delicious. Dude, they shove a tube down the fucking duck's mouth and just pour this fucking liquid. They be pouring creatine and shit in there. The dogs are fucking the fucking ducks on GH and shit.
Oh my god!
And they force feed it.
Really,
and
that's a real thing,
dude. Yeah, bro. They got funnels. They take a funnel and they've been doing it since Egyptian times. It's like hieroglyphics of they get the duck in the funnel and the hieroglyphics.
Shut the
dudes
fuck
like this
up.
and shit. Yeah, bro. They once they thought it was a beer funnel, but now we know it's not. It's not for doing it.
They're like, look at these douchebags getting these drunks all ducked.
No.
These ducks all drunk.
Yeah, no, but now there's like modern day. There's like machines, and
That's
it's like
terrible.
They put the duck's beak on it, and just like pushes in.
Shut the
just
fuck
shoots
up.
all the shit, comes out. Yeah, I watched it, bro. It's fucking brutal. The duck just and comes back, and it's just like, what the fuck was that? And it just keeps on moving.
That's fucking brutal.
But they're force feeding.
Well,
it, yeah.
now that I know that, I will never eat that shit because that's pretty fucking terrible.
Yeah, I'm not
into organ meat anyway.
Yeah, I'm not into organ meat, and I'm definitely not into fucking duck. Nothing against duck. I'm not really into it. I feel like it's a slimy animal. The meat.
That's fucking.
I feel like the meat's a little slimy for me.
That is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But you know they do other terrible shit like that. Like you know how they make veal, like lamb.
Oh, they keep that motherfucker in a box, right?
Yeah, they don't let them walk or move because it toughens the muscle. So what they do is they just keep them in a box and never let them walk or stand up or anything because they want to keep the meat tender. So it's essentially just like restricted to just like growing in like a fucking
my God.
It's terrible, man.
But they kill them young, right?
I mean, I don't fucking know. I don't really know, but it's pretty terrible.
The younger meat is usually the better, like quality.
Yeah.
Like, right.
It's even like that with fish. Like if you catch a really big fish, people are like, oh, I caught this huge fish.
It's fucking gross, right?
It's not the best fish that you want to be eating because it's been around in that water, swimming in piss and feces and bottom feeding and shit like that for a long time. You want like a nice little mid-sized fish if you're gonna eat it. Unless you're talking like tuna. Now you're talking big ass tuna. I've thought about going and being a tuna fisherman because of how much fucking money they make.
I've definitely fell down a wormhole of tuna fishing on YouTube.
Yeah. You ever see them checking the fat consistency?
Yo, when they stick that shit in
and
they pull it out, it's like pig.
They like squeeze it out.
Yeah,
and
bro.
Looks pretty good.
It looks like a spaghetti of tuna.
Give you 11,000 for this one. I'm like
a pound.
11. What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. These dudes be hitting it.
Like, what am I doing?
There's like this YouTube channel of like these 4 kids in Florida. They're just like 4 fucking kids.
They just go tuna
fishing. They're
fishing?
just going out tuna fishing, hitting licks, bro.
Speaking of 11,000, bro, my fucking boy, I'm not going to get into specifics, but goddamn it, he's killing it on the stock market right now.
He bought GameStop?
No. He's not even involved in these short squeezes or anything like that. He really invests in stocks. He's not, he invests in companies. He researches companies.
There's a lot of money out there if you
know what you're doing.
If you know what you're doing, there's a lot of money out there, especially right now. So it's interesting because my brother-in-law was doing like day trading for a little bit. And
is he still doing it or not as much?
He's not doing it anymore. He's going to PA school next semester.
He got in already?
No, he should be applying. I'm not 100%. I don't really we don't really talk about it all the time, but he's applying this semester to go next semester, or he has to take some like one class that if he doesn't take it, then he doesn't qualify for certain programs or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he starts next in the fall he starts, or if he starts
biochemistry or something like that.
It's like he won't be able to start at the same time because like the classes are only given in certain orders. Like 1 is given in the fall, 2 is given in
I hate classes like that.
In the spring, and he has to take 1 so that he could qualify for this program. So I could be wrong about the whole thing. He could be going in the fall, but either way, he's like not focusing on that. He's just working on getting as many clinical hours as he could get.
Good for him.
So he's volunteering on the fucking ambulance, and he just told me yesterday he's applying to be a tracer, a contact tracer.
Oh, for COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's just trying to get like as many hours as he could get. So he could come into his like PA program swinging the biggest dick he could possibly swing when it comes to like,
you got to swing a big one, bro.
Yeah.
PA school is super competitive, and it's it's a good gig, man. It's a good gig, man.
But he was he was day trading for a while, and with COVID, the market is so volatile with things like going like jumping up and jumping down, and Tesla breaking $1,000 or whatever. It's like, so right now is the time for people who want to short sell or do whatever they want. Now it's time to make money. Everybody's talking about GameStop because it's the one that the people did. Like the people are the ones that did that.
But
like,
you see, they're driving the price down. It's at like $50 now.
Well, it was always going to go down.
I think that this is a false.
It's not really indicative to the way GameStop is doing.
No, but I mean, in terms of the price drop, I think that's falsely decreased the value of the stock based on them limiting the amount of shares people could buy. They limited the amount you could buy to purposely drive the stock down to scare people into selling. But these are all kids living in their mom's house. Yeah. They're all going to they're holding because
that's my thing. It's like, how long are you going to hold for, right? How long are you going to sit on a stock that
has no value, truly?
It doesn't really have it's
GameStop, retail stores, and GameStop's always been dog shit. Let's keep it a stack.
GameStop's right behind Blockbuster, bro.
Yeah.
They're like right in front of Blockbuster, rather said. You don't need to buy. I don't buy any physical copies of any games ever. I haven't bought a physical copy of a game and I can't even fucking remember, bro. If I lose my Switch, I have so many games I bought on my Switch. I'm sure that they could do so. There's like a way to get my games back. But every single game on my Switch is all digital.
Yeah. It's probably an account, no?
PC. Yeah, it's not an account.
If you get a new
I'm assuming, Switch, I can log into my Nintendo account and get my games back.
Yeah.
None of my games, I don't even have a fucking a disc tray on my fucking computer. So I haven't bought a physical copy of a game in so long. They give you the fucking worst like buyback options. It's like GameStop was failing before COVID.
Yeah.
So they're not a company that, from my perspective, that I see them, that stock price isn't indicative to like their success.
No, I agree. It's false. Just like other retail stores, like AMC is not really worth what it's been driven up to.
AMC's another one, yeah.
I mean, they're, to be honest with you, I don't
they
think
probably were worth something. They're just not worth it now because there's no business. So there's no revenue. Like, where are you fucking basing these numbers off of? Like, the company's not growing. No. The company isn't pushing out a certain product. They're not making any more money. Why they're worth more?
It's worth that because people bought a lot.
Because they drove this price up.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm thinking of like we were saying, like actually researching companies and understanding, what's going to happen. Like my buddy was telling me when my buddy that I'm saying is killing it on the stock market. I mean, he's fucking killing it. Like killing it the hardest I've ever seen somebody that I personally know kill it. Like 6-figure killing it. And he was telling me that he's like, dude, you just got to pay attention to what's going on. He's like, when
this
COVID
is not
hit,
financial advice.
No, fucking absolutely fucking not. I still work for someone. So don't listen to me. Yeah. I'm still employed.
Yeah.
100%. So don't
I'm
listen
not,
to me.
Dame Dash would never call me a boss.
No, absolutely not. Do I have a company I could leave to my kids? No. You're not a boss.
Not a boss.
So my buddy was saying, he's like, when COVID hit and crushed businesses, he said nobody could go anywhere. He's like, you know what I thought right away? He said he invested in Blue Apron.
Huh.
Like meal
That's
delivery
smart,
to cook at home and shit. And he said he invested at $4. He said it went up to $30.
Fuck.
He said it went up to $30.
Fuck.
So he
I bought a lot of oil.
He's conscious about that kind of shit. He did that. He bought he went crazy on Amazon when COVID hit because he's like, I know. He's like, even though the Amazon's never been cheap, he's like, I know that it's going to shoot through the roof because people are just going to buy more shit delivered to the house.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like those stocks that are already so fucking expensive. If you don't have a lot of money, you kind of missed a boat on them.
Yeah.
And that's why I shop for like things that took a shit. And like I said, this isn't financial advice, but months ago I did put some money into like offshore drilling and oil, oil-based companies that are either go positive or negative based on like the price of oil, because gas took a shit and some of these companies were so cheap. I took a hit, like some of them didn't succeed, and that's a risk you take when you buy at these places, these companies that are so low. Yeah. Companies like Amazon can afford to lose money for the rest of time, right? They could afford to lose money on certain products because they're so successful on the other ends.
Sure. And they're successful for mainly their business practice, not their products.
No, they don't have any products.
No. And their Prime membership, there's so many benefits to it.
That's one of the things.
For different reasons.
There's so many factors that Amazon is successful. Their membership fees, just like Costco. What's what separates Costco from Walmart, right? Yeah, Costco and Walmart are decently similar. Obviously, Costco is way more of a wholesaler than Walmart is, but they're competitors. Yeah, Walmart doesn't have a subscription.
I shop at Costco.
Me too.
And there's two of us in our apartment. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment.
And you still buy at Costco's. Costco's has a membership fee. Yeah. I want to say the prices are probably similar. I don't know this for a fact, but I don't.
Do you shop at Costco?
I'm a Costco's man.
See, because sometimes it's outrageous some of the things that you can get there.
I just don't need a 45 pound of almonds.
No, true. But there are certain things like we buy detergent there.
Yes, I buy my detergent, my meat.
Yeah, meat, because they have really good meats. They got those USDA prime steaks. I don't do that If you're doing choice, move on, son. Blech. Don't do that choice meat. You will trust me. Every time you go on YouTube, and this is what made me start buying prime meats. Every time I went on YouTube, and I'm looking up how to make a good steak, what do they always start with? Can't make a good steak unless you start with good meat.
That's a fact.
Go to your local butcher.
Yeah,
and I'm like, damn, I don't have a local butcher.
I got a butcher that's on this street.
Really?
Yeah.
Good call, son.
A block away.
On Main Street, like in the village.
A block away. But I don't go to him because I don't trust him. I have trust in my butcher.
Well, you got to have trust because you're dealing with raw meat. You don't want a guy scratching his asshole and then cutting your prime rib. You know what I'm saying?
This butcher place I'm talking about, you got to be you don't have to be bilingual.
What is it, a carniceria or something like that?
No, it's a butcher shop, but they just don't speak English, And listen, I'm sure their meat is great. Yeah. But I don't know if I come in there and they give me the great meat. That's the thing.
Got you.
Because you got to go in there and know your shit. I know my cuts. I don't know more. I don't know my cuts in Spanish, and I don't know. And then they get the cut differently because there's it's full fat
and it depends what you're making.
It depends what you're making
too. if they there's certain cuts that they think you might want because they're used to giving them to people that are local that make certain dishes.
Yes,
so they might leave the fat on, or they might trim all the fat, and you're like, damn, I wanted some of that. That's like the flavor, you can't,
My toughest part when it comes to picking up meat from a butcher is getting the weight right on the steaks because if you get a nice bone-in ribeye, that bone weighs something, so you got to take into account you're not going to get a 16-ounce bone-in ribeye is not going to be a big fucking steak at all because that bone got weight to it. You need you need to start looking at the 32-ounce or something like that. It may be even bigger, But
pound for pound, when it comes to meat, ounce for ounce, you're getting more.
Exactly. But if you look at a 9-ounce sirloin or a 12-ounce sirloin, it's all meat. It's all meat. It's still it's a decent sized steak. It's a medium sized steak.
Yeah, I get the ribeyes with no bone. That shit change your life. Costco has them.
So it's just a fillet, and it's like, what do you mean?
It's a ribeye with no bone. It's like a different part of the ribeye of the cut. You know what I'm saying?
It's not deboned. It's not a ribeye.
No, it's not like they took the bone out. It's like a different part of the same piece of meat. Like I think it's like a little further down. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because I'm not a butcher.
Yeah.
But like that's what I saw, and it's delicious because it still has like that fat in the middle and stuff.
Yeah.
But you can render it down, and it's fucking good.
You know what I like to do with that fat after I'm done cooking it? That one you're talking about, like pushing it out. Because it just turns into like this fucking fat ball. I just push it. I don't really eat the fat.
Yeah. You can render that down and make stuff with it. Like if you're making anything else, like if you're making like potatoes or you're making like green beans or something like that, I'll render some of that down, throw it in there. Maybe throw a little bacon in there.
Oh, that's what I do with my bacon grease.
Me too, man. I make my eggs in there. It's like,
bro, your egg comes out looking dirty.
Definitely feel it in the
Oh yeah, 100%.
fucking arteries, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, your egg comes out of that fucking bacon grease looking like fucking Dominican.
Yeah, and looking like I sprayed that bitch with Soul Glow. Fucking right. Should have slipped right out the pan. Like, swoop. It's like a fucking...
You don't need a non-stick pan when you got bacon
Hell no,
grease.
bro. That shit slipped right out like a flounder.
You know, back in the day, they were cooking with lard. Imagine if you cooked the lard nowadays. They just cooked with just straight... It's just fat, right?
Yeah. It's like dry.
It's just
like
fat.
Yeah, it's cooled off fat.
Fuck.
Like you ever let the grease... Like you ever pour...
Coconut oil?
Coconut oil, people fuck. I don't really fuck with that.
You ever see it get cold? It turns into a solid.
Yeah, exactly. I fuck with avocado oil. That's my new shit.
Avocado's good, but it's got a low smoke point. Fills the
No,
whole fucking
it
house
does
up with
not.
smoke.
It's got a very high smoke point. It's higher than any other oil.
It's fucking fills up my whole entire house with smoke.
You're not using avocado. You're not using avocado.
100%
You were using olive oil.
No, avocado oil.
Bro, it's got the highest smoke point. You're
It probably does, but my cast iron skillet. But I'm not saying. I'm no longer saying it has a high smoke point. I'm saying that when I used it, it smoked out my whole house.
It wouldn't smoke your house out. How hot was your fucking pan?
Cast iron, baby, on 10.
Bro, that's all I use is cast iron. Nah, you got to go back.
I'll have it upstairs. I'll show it to you.
Olive oil.
It wasn't olive oil.
That has a low smoke point.
That's probably a fact.
That shit'll smoke your fucking whole shit out. Send your dog will be coughing. It'll fucking set your alarms
when I tell
off.
you, my dog, we found him underneath the car last time. We fucking when the smoke alarm goes off, he is every man for himself. He wants to get the fuck out the house. Not only out the house,
smart.
Out the fucking yard. He
wants to get out the neighborhood. He wants to get out the county.
He leaves, bro. He just leaves. But dude, I did keto for 2 years. I'm super familiar with avocado oil.
I don't know, bro.
I'm not saying that. I'm no longer saying it has a high smoke point. I'm saying that
it does have a high smoke point.
Yeah,
you mean you're no longer saying it has a low?
Yeah, but also at the time I was cooking too hot.
Yeah, that could be because if your pan was way too hot, if avocado oil was smoking, bro.
When I tell you my Nest alarm was saying like, if my Nest alarm wasn't even warning me, they were just like,
the cops
there is smoke in the cabin. Boom, boom. It was going crazy, bro. My wife's at work. She's fucking texting me, "Is the house on fire?" And I'm just like, because at this time I'm working from home, cooking steaks.
Damn,
but I stopped eating meat for a long time. I haven't eaten red meat in maybe like a month or so because I was eating steak every fucking day.
That ain't so bad.
I just got tired of it.
Oh, you got tired of it.
Yeah, now I'm not worried about my health.
Nah, because I go in with some steak. But sometimes that's what happens with Costco. When I go to Costco, it's so much steak and it's such good meat that I don't want to freeze it. So I'm like, I'm not freezing this prime meat. So then we'll eat steak for like 3 days straight. We
do freeze our meat because we buy a lot of it. And we have our freezer separated, like fish, chicken, and meat.
Yeah.
And we do that so like we diversify what we're eating for dinner or whatever.
Well, that's smart. But I just don't freeze prime steaks. I'll freeze anything else.
We freeze because my favorite cuts are like you're
a porterhouse guy.
I like a porterhouse. I like a ribeye.
Those are good steaks. New York strip is good too.
Porterhouse, ribeye. And then I'm not super into New York strips, but they're not expensive, so I'll get those. Just like the sirloins, they're not expensive. I'll get those. But when I buy them, I don't buy just 2 steaks. I buy like the fucking 6-pack of the
Costco
steaks.
shit is like
Costco
you get 4 New York strips, or you get like 3 or 4 boneless ribeyes.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll get the one with a bunch of them in it, and I buy a bunch of different steak. I don't buy just 1 cut. I'll buy like 3 cuts. I do freeze them. I leave some out for that day, and I always make them that day. But I do freeze them, and I just label them. I put the date on it. I know what's what. Like, there's nothing in my freezer that you open. I mean, there's stuff in my freezer. There's like, there's breast milk in my freezer, but there's, most of the stuff. Yeah.
Cambodian breast milk?
The shit from the Bronx. Most of the shit in my freezer like has a label on it. And my mother-in-law today tells me like, "Where's the fish?" And I pull it out, and she's like, "Is that the fish?" I'm like, I'm like, "Look, that's the date right there. I wrote it on it."
Goddamn right, it's the
yep,
fish.
That's the fish. Same fish. Remember that
fish,
day
dog.
you bought it?
That's right.
Had some snapper today. Not red snapper.
Okay.
Snapper.
You know what snapper is?
The fish?
It's baby bluefish.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Small bluefish.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Red snappers are too?
I don't know. I think I'm right.
No, well, they got a lot of fucking bones.
I'm an angler on my free time.
You're okay. That makes sense.
Nah, actually, I have a really good friend of mine that's a legit fisherman. He's fucking legit.
Are we talking about the guy that we both know?
Yeah, he went to like maritime and shit.
No.
Nah, yo, he's
what I'm talking about is the guy we both know who fishes a lot, but not the maritime guy. No. We worked with him.
What do we know?
He worked in the area that you worked in after you left. The first area you worked in, he ended up working in that area, and he fishes.
Oh my god, yeah, he's fishing for something else now.
No, he's he be going. We have a friend who somehow, some way, this is crazy, ended up finding a guy who has like a boat and fishes for tuna. Like a dude with money and a big ass fucking boat. And he'd be going on this dude's boat and just having a blast.
Bro, there's a ton of money in fishing. I met a billionaire through a friend of mine that met a dude digging for worms. I'm going to tell you this story right now. I have a good friend of mine. He's like legit with, he's like legit when it comes to understanding the ocean and all that shit. He went to school for it. He went to maritime. He's got a boat. That's like the dude that I like learned everything about boats from.
What the fuck is maritime?
Maritime is it's a merchant marine school.
Okay.
There's one in New York. There's one in Massachusetts. Like there's a few. And what it is it's like paramilitary, but you come out, what you learn is things associated with nautical careers. Like you learn, like I actually have a cousin that just graduated from maritime in Massachusetts, and he is going to be an engineer. My friend I'm talking about that lives here, he graduated as like a what do they call it? They call it first mate, right? Which is like right under the captain.
Yeah.
So what it is you learn how to navigate ships.
I call those guys a skipper, but go ahead. Yeah. because I'm on the because
you're a landlubber.
Because I'm a seaman.
Because you're a landlubber, huh?
Yeah.
So what it is I wish I knew about this when I was in school. Like nobody tells you about these careers. They tell you to be a doctor or a lawyer. They tell you to be a cop, a fireman. That's what you hear about growing up.
That's
but
so
meanwhile, there's
true.
all these freaking jobs where you can make great money, and there's such different avenues of employment. So what he came out as like a first mate, which is right under the captain. And what happens is you end up you can test for different certifications, right? And it goes by weight of the vessel that you're able to navigate, right? So over time, he is a first mate. If he watches this podcast and sees this episode, I hope I'm saying this right. He's a chief mate, unlimited. So he's tested all the way through. He can be in charge of a ship that has an unlimited weight capacity, which means he can be the big dick on a cruise liner or an oil tanker.
Is he driving them? What's he doing?
Yes.
Oh, he's the motherfucking steering it?
Yes. What he is he's essentially the nighttime captain. When the captain is asleep, he's the captain.
Okay. He is the captain now.
Yes, he's the captain now. That guy. So it's so legit. So there's like all these safety regulations. There's all this shit. There's swim tests. You have to be able to tread water for like 6 hours.
Why? You got to be physically fit too?
Oh, you have to be able to survive out on the ocean. You have to be able to troubleshoot all this shit. It's like paramilitary. Like they throw you in the water with like nothing. And you have to be able to tread water for like a certain amount of time and shit like that. And then on top of that, you have to know all these safety regulations. You have to keep all your licenses and your certifications up to date. And you have to test for this shit. Like the shit he knows is insane. Like when I go on the boat with him, he's like, oh, it's going to be a crazy day. We're like in the harbor. And I'm like, yo, it's nice as fuck. Looks like glass out here. He's like, nah, man, we're being protected by this archipelago that's like sticking out of some shit, And I'm like, what are you talking about? We get out into the bay and it's like, and he's like, I told you it's going to be crazy. And I'm like, what? Well, I can't drink bottled beer because you break your teeth.
I'm so afraid of the ocean.
He told me that. You know that? I brought Coronas on the boat. And he's like, dude, you can't drink those glass. He's like, here's a cup. And he gave me like a plastic cup. I'm like, why? I was like, I got the bottle. I like drinking out of the bottle. He's like, no, you don't. He's like, not on the boat. You're not drinking out of that. And I was like, what? And I was like, okay, fucking stupid ass rules. I thought he was scared I was going to drop the bottle. So I poured in a cup and I'm like, whatever. And he's like, dude, you like your fucking teeth? And I'm like, oh. I was like, if you're drinking this, and we hit a fucking wake or something like that, you break your fucking teeth.
I'm so afraid of the ocean.
He also taught me why pirates wear patches.
Oh, it's obviously so you can see further.
No.
Why is it? I don't know why.
You just took a shot in the dark.
Yeah, I was glad. That's it. I can fucking argue that logic though.
I'm going to tell you right now. You know why they wear a fucking patch? So one of their eyes it's not because they're missing an eye. That's what I always thought. He said it's because so that one of their eyes is always accustomed to the darkness. It's their pupil is dilated for the dark. He's like, so when the sun goes down, they lift this and they can already see in the dark. You know how like when the lights go off, your pupils dilate and you can't see for a second, like you can't see and it takes a while. Have you ever been out in the dark and then after a while?
I've been to a matinee movie. No. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, like out in the dark, like out at nighttime, like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
After a while, you start to see much better.
Yeah.
And you start to see once your eyes get accustomed.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's your pupils dilating and allowing more light in.
Exactly. So then you gradually as the longer amount of time you're out there, you start to see even better. And then it's almost not daytime, but you're like, why do I see so well right now? It's like,
if you're on a drug that makes your pupils huge, can you see better at night now?
I don't know. Cause I think those kind of drugs, you're more so thinking about chasing pussy. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of drugs do that?
Different things like that make your pupils big. You're talking about like,
does ecstasy do that?
Yeah. You're talking about ecstasy. You're talking about Molly, things that make your pupils pinpoint is something like opiates, stuff like that.
So
if it's nighttime and somebody's pupils are like black specks, and motherfuckers on some fucking pills.
I wonder if you fucking rail a bunch of Molly if you could just see at night.
Probably not. You're seeing shit you shouldn't be seeing, most likely.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what it is. You wouldn't be able to see that because your pupils.
Well, I shouldn't say that because it's not a hallucinogen, but you're not paying attention to shit. But that that's a good question. I mean, it's something for Google, Google MD.
It sounds good in theory.
But yo, what I was saying about,
I'm sorry
about maritime, like that's what maritime is. It trains you for like nautical careers. So there's different shit you can do in that regard. You know, so he can like pretty much like run any ship. And
no matter the size. What kind of ships was he running? What were they carrying?
What he was doing was he was going offshore. What he would do is go offshore for a month and come home for a month. Offshore for a month, come home for a month. And he was working in Brazil. So what he was doing was he was running the supply ship that would take supplies, employees, personnel, food, tools, all that kind of shit out to the big oil rigs that are drilling. So he was in charge of the transporting boats, like the ship that would take all the like Brazilians to go work on the ship and all the food, shit like that they needed, supplies, oil, first aid equipment, all that kind of stuff.
Is it a big ship we're talking about?
Yeah, big ship. You know, but it was his skill set and his ability, his safety credentials and stuff like that made that a thing. Like, and then part of his job was to make sure that everybody's, you know, complying with safety protocol. Stuff like that, like hard hats in the hard hat areas, making sure like all the fire hoses were good, like safety checks, like the fire extinguishers were working, you know, like there weren't any fire hazards, there weren't any, you know, people weren't doing any dangerous shit, you know. And then I know another guy that graduated from maritime that's what's called a harbor pilot, which I didn't know this was a thing. He's essentially
you fly?
No. This is no. What he is the way that I can describe it, the simplest way is he's a valet in New York City in the harbor for massive vessels.
So he takes the wheel.
Yes. He goes out because they could captain all the shit. All the guys like, oh, I'm a captain of this big cruise liner. They call him when they start to get into the harbor and they wait there out in the open water.
Yeah.
And he goes on a small boat out there, gets on it. It's like, dinghy. Watch out, bitch. And he brings that shit in and parks it. He docks it through all the fucking harbor. Dude, it's a 5-year apprenticeship after you graduate. So it's a bachelor's degree. It's a bachelor's degree and then like a 5-year residency kind of thing. But then you come out and you make like $2 million. It's like a fucking massively high paying job because of the liability.
The fucking size of the wangs that they're swinging in the water are huge. Boats are not like when people who buy luxury cars and expensive cars. Listen, if you spend $2 million on a Bugatti, it's like a big deal, right? You spend
that's a status symbol.
$1.5 million on a fucking Wyra or something like that. It's a lot of money. $1.5 million is not a lot of money on the water.
Oh, hell no.
It's not a lot of money on the water.
Hell fucking no,
the kind of money that you got to spend to have like an enormous fucking yacht.
Yeah.
You can buy 20 Bugattis, you know?
Bro, you absolutely can. Conor McGregor bought a fucking Lamborghini fucking Yacht.
What?
He bought a Lamborghini yacht after his Floyd Mayweather fight. It cost like something like $10 million or some shit.
It was a Lamborghini
yacht.
Powered yacht.
It was a yacht made by Lamborghini.
Oh, yacht! Yeah, Lamborghini made this fucking yacht.
Apparently,
Italians. There's a popular Italian boat brand. I forgot what it's called, but there's a YouTube channel called B is for Build, and he's currently rebuilding one. It's supposed to be like the Ferrari of the yacht game. So the Italians do they do a lot of things right. I mean, from my perspective, I feel like their things break a lot, but boy, do they look nice.
Bro, they fucking do their goddamn thing. There's nothing that the Italians do half-ass, whether it's wine or cheese or Ferraris. There's nothing that they do half-ass. I feel like America does a lot of half-ass shit.
Well, because we're just getting other people to do our shit and we're coordinating it.
Yeah, we do a lot of half-ass shit.
Yeah.
You know, I can't even lie about that. It's actually...
But a lot of... Yeah, I'll give you that. Like nobody's even the well, no, because I think the Tundra, somebody just told me this fucking number the other day. I think the Tundra, the Toyota Tundra, which is a pickup truck,
yeah,
has like a bunch of American parts on it. It's like one of the better trucks that are out right now, which is like everybody who's like a fucking truck guy is like really pissed right now because like most people, most Americans are like
with imported trucks.
They're like Chevys or Fords.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
They're like I'm a Duramax man, because or the Power Stroke. Ford's a Power Stroke, Chevy's a Duramax.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says like I'm a Toyota man, truck guy.
But I'll tell you what, what's really competing massively with the Jeep Wrangler?
Oh, don't tell me. Hold on.
In terms of like overlanding and I want to overland so bad. I'm such a wannabe overlander, but I got a fucking like mall crawler Jeep, I can't. I want to like get a rooftop tent. I want to disappear with my dog and my girl.
Fucking tent. They're giving away, stupid fucking giveaways they do on Instagram now.
Yeah, the scams.
Yeah. They those dudes make so much money on those things.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
I know, it's fucking scams. Yeah.
But they have they're giving away a Rubicon, a Rubicon, but it's a pickup truck one. The Gladiator Rubicon, and it's got the sickest fucking. First of all, it's got a cab cover, which I'm not into, but this one's sick because above the cab cover, it's like this magic pop up tent.
Oh, it's probably an Ursa Minor.
I don't know what kind it is, but it's fucking sick, bro. The whole Jeep is so sick. Bad.
It's like $4,000 the tent I want because what it is it's a hardtop replacement.
That's what this one is. It's a hardtop.
Oh, it's probably.
Oh no, it's not a hardtop replacement. It's a hard, but it does have a hard top on it. That's pretty cool. It's like an all-in-one.
It's an entire. You take your whole hardtop off, and it's a whole hardtop that has this tent built into it, and it pops up. It's called an Ursa Minor, and you access it from inside. Like you never, like the inside roof is gone. Like, so you just go up into it, and then you put the panels back to close it and go to sleep up there. So it's like you essentially don't have to leave your vehicle. Yeah. You go up and down as you please. Like I've done little things to make our, like, because we go on the beach a lot with my Jeep. So we have like a lot of stuff that we've like done in the back. I've added shit in the back. So, I have like this cabana that's like tied up in the back. So I pull it out and shit like that. But
you have a badminton net you set up?
No, but I should. That's a good idea.
Badminton's fun.
Badminton is fun. But but I didn't tell you the truck that's competing with the Jeep in that space of overlanding, camping out and stuff like that, and modifying your vehicle to be able to stay in it for days at a time.
Okay, can I take some guesses?
Go ahead. You'll probably be able to guess in one or two guesses. Is it
a new? Are you talking about a car that's going to come out or a car that's already out?
It's been out. It took over like as they're like neck and neck. Like there's like
the FJ.
No. Some people fuck with that, but not really.
The Land Cruiser.
No.
Is it
It doesn't
Toyota?
Look like a Jeep. It's a Toyota, but it's a very different.
Yeah, you're talking about. It's definitely not the fucking Sequoia. It's not the Land Cruiser.
No.
What is it?
It's a Toyota Tacoma.
Okay.
The Tacoma is people are coming out with.
It's a pickup truck, right?
Yeah, it's a pickup, but they're saying like it's great off road. It's got a lot of modifiable components. Like people are starting to come out with a lot of Tacoma aftermarket parts the way they have with Jeep, but they'll never.
That's what my dad has, I think.
They'll never catch up with Jeep.
That's what my dad has.
Yeah, my cousin has one, and he got one for his son.
He's a burgundy one.
Yeah, so it's like they there's like guys that have legitimate overlander setups that are set up on Tacomas, and it's fucking cool.
I really like the Land Cruiser. It's very expensive. It's why you don't see a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's why people don't even know they fucking exist.
Yeah. The Toyota Land Cruiser is legit. The old school one.
It's the Range Rover of
Toyota. It to like 300,000 miles.
Exactly.
Yo, I had a guy I worked with. He was like one of them guys that like never did anything to his car. He's like, yes, I just changed the oil, changed the brake. No problem. He had that car. It had like 380,000 miles on it. That shit ran like every day. Boom, started right up.
Yep. And dude, those cars are so expensive, but people buy them now. They buy the older ones that are kind of just sitting around and they're buying them and they're doing that. I didn't know. I didn't know that's what it was called. But
that's what you'll get into it. Don't even look it up, bro. I'm telling you right now, son.
But I follow some of the Jeep guys, and I know a guy who instead of buying a Jeep, he bought a fucking I watched this one guy with a fucking Jeep. He's a savage. He lives in Connecticut, but I don't want to get into him. The guy
California Jeep guys are killers. Go ahead.
Probably. They're rock crawling and shit. They're rock crawling. California's a crazy fucking state.
California is the only state with every single type of terrain that you can have. They have fucking mountains and frigid temperatures up north. They have desert. They have beach. They have fucking forest. The fucking the up north, they have the big, like the
redwood forest,
the giant redwoods.
Yep.
They have a tree you can drive through.
They have trees you can smoke.
It's hollowed out on the inside. You drive through it. That's how big that shit is. It's a tunnel.
Is that true?
Yes, absolutely. You drive through
There's 2 lanes. What are we talking about? I don't know.
No.
Okay. No. I'm just asking, man. Is it a one way or what are we talking about? I don't know. I have to know because when you said it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm thinking of
the Holland Tunnel.
I thought that shit was the size of the fucking BQE, bro.
Holy shit.
I'm like, holy fuck.
You're like, fuck, you got an Easy Pass in there?
Yeah.
Bro, you know I got a fucking, Easy Pass flexed on me, bro. I got a fucking letter in the mail from Easy Pass talking about, yo, bro, you're driving a little fast through here. You do that shit again, we're taking away your Easy Pass. It wasn't the cops. What? Yo, they said I drove too fast through the Easy Pass lane. And they sent me a letter telling me I need to calm the fuck down. They said, this is a warning, bitch boy. You drive this fast again, we'll revoke your Easy Pass.
It's not enough that you guys have a monopoly on the tolls in New York.
Right.
That's not enough.
Now, it must have been Cuomo involved in that.
No, you know what that is, right?
What?
Their cameras only catch you at a certain speed. So you're right. You're getting close to it. You know how many times I tell people that I was always...
God damn it, this man is fucking brilliant. Bro, it's all about the mighty dollar, bro. You're right. 2 miles faster and they wouldn't have been able to charge me.
Exactly.
God damn it, this fucking guy.
Dude, no. I'm going to tell you why I think of this.
What?
When I was younger...
Explain it to me. God damn it, you're a smart motherfucker.
When I was younger,
you're a smart motherfucker.
What I wanted to do more than anything else was beat those fucking red light cameras.
Yeah.
And I always look for a street, and I found one.
A straightaway where you could fucking smoke that shit?
And I said, if I could pass that thing at like 140, 130 miles an hour, no way it's catching my fucking...
Why are you driving 130 miles an hour? You know how much I care about you, bro?
No. I never actually did it. And I never did it.
Dare fucking do that.
I never did it, not because, for any other reason, but that I didn't want to be the guy who tried it and then ended up losing his license because they caught, like, you just essentially...
killed a pedestrian?
No, not because you killed a pedestrian. Oh. Because I would have did it at night. I would have did it under safe circumstances. Dude, 130 is not that fast. It's like fast, but like I've seen people do 160 on a freeway.
You know where I work and you know what I do.
Yeah, no. All I'm saying is just that. So yeah, so I thought if I get through it, and this is my calculation. I was like, I could probably get, because I've seen ones that I could get up to like 100 and change, but I was like, I want to go faster than that. I got to go through this thing at like 100. Like I said, like 135, 140. I never did it, but I'm sure if I pass one of those red lights at 140 miles an hour, no, I wonder if the camera's catching me. I wonder.
No, I doubt it. I mean, it would have to depend on how far before the light they can trigger the camera and the flash, because especially if it's at night, because
I'm not running a front plate though.
They have a flash.
Yeah,
that's how they capture the image, because any camera. I'm a photography and video guy, so you know that when you an image's clarity is based on light exposure. So that's why when you see something shitty or unclear, typically it's poorly lit. So when you have something lit appropriately, you're much more capable of capturing detail and sharpness.
And that's why that fucking flash is so goddamn bright.
That's why that flash will give you a seizure if you're not fucking paying attention.
Yeah, 100%. That shit put you to an epileptic shock.
Yeah, boom, right into a fucking telephone pole. You gotta fucking be careful with that shit. But that's why that shit is so fucking bright. That strobe goes off like poof. Like,
so you think that there's not a speed you could go through it?
No, I think there is, but like I'm saying, like the extenuating circumstance or the piece of information that's missing is how early that's triggered.
Yeah.
Because if they can lead you, it's like hunting, or it's like throwing a fucking pass to a fucking wide receiver. You know where he's going. So, you're not throwing to where he was, you're throwing to where he's going to be.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that works.
Yeah. So maybe they would have caught me.
It depends on how soon they can trigger.
And they know how fast you're going. Yeah. I've been caught by them before.
I think in my experience from driving through so many traffic cameras, because I don't know if people have them where they're from, if they're listening to this, but in New York, we fucking have them everywhere. This is like, do you understand how much money they made? There was a speed camera that was near a school that they had to disable it because they made like $18 million in like 6 months in fucking traffic in violations. And they were like, yo, this is the whole county and everything was like, this is a fucking money grab and a scam, because you're not stopping people from speeding. You're not stopping people from running red lights.
They've been doing this shit in Europe for years. You know that?
Really?
Yeah, bro.
I didn't know that.
They've been doing this shit in Europe forever.
I didn't know that. But that makes sense because
on their highways and shit. Not the way we got it. You can't fucking make a right on red and shit.
Yeah.
They did it on the highways. And they would take a picture of your plate, and then you go X amount of miles, and they take a picture of you again.
And they know how fast you were going.
Do the math.
They do it in America too. Yeah. I just had this conversation last night because I just got that letter from Easy Pass. So I was telling a woman I work with, and she told me that she got a speeding ticket. She said she beat it in court though, because it said like they estimated her speed, and she said she was able to beat it. I know she probably spent more money with a lawyer than she would have just paid the fucking ticket.
I'd rather fucking give the lawyer the money. Fuck
that, right? So she said that's exactly what they did. They took a picture when she got on the turnpike, and then when she got off, and they calculated how fast she must have been going in order to cover that distance in that amount of time. And I was like, God damn, these motherfuckers throwing physics in this bitch to try to fucking get you, man.
Bro, when I used to go up to Massachusetts to visit my girl.
Now we're going to do Blue Moon Belgian White.
The Belgian White. I used to call it the Belgian dip. When I used to drive up to Massachusetts, dip. Oh. When I used to drive up to Massachusetts to see my girl, bro, I used to hold triple digits for like 30 minutes straight.
There's some states that's cool. Like you drive through Connecticut, they're crazy. You're doing 80 in the fucking middle lane, they'll ride your ass.
That's what I'm saying. And I used to I had to go through Connecticut. You go through Connecticut, then you go through fucking Rhode Island, and then you're in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You got to go through New York too, obviously. But when I got out of New York, I used to be humming. I would get from Eastern Long Island to Massachusetts in 3 hours, bro. I would get there 3 hours.
That's not true.
Bro, you could ask my girl. We're going out to dinner tonight. You could ask her. I used to get there so fucking fast that her roommate's dad used to tell me, like, yo, you got to take it easy. Like, you can't be.
Bro, I drive to Massachusetts all the time. Yep. It takes me 5 hours.
I used to get there in 3 hours. You
shaved 2 hours off that shit?
Also, I used to work 3 to 11, and I would leave an hour early. I'm leaving at 10 o'clock at night.
So you leave at nighttime. Okay.
I'm
driving in the daytime. And even during COVID, it took me 4.5 hours to get there. 4 hours, which was my shortest time.
And where are you going in Massachusetts?
The Cape.
Yeah, I'm going to Fall River, which is right across the bridge from Rhode Island.
Okay, so you're in the early parts of Massachusetts. I'm going pretty deep.
It's not the early part of Massachusetts. It's just the way like Rhode Island is. It's like on the side of Massachusetts, because Massachusetts still goes in deep over here. So it depends where fucking Massachusetts is huge.
Massachusetts is fucking
big. It's
big.
Huge.
I like you say huge.
Huge. It's huge. I had a conversation, I was playing Call of Duty the other day, and there was these 3 dickheads, and they had like the accent, right? So I was like, "Oh, you guys are from Mass?" And they were like, "Yeah, we're from Mass." It's like, and they're like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from New York." They were like, "Yeah, typical New York fucking scumbag," and they were just shitting on New York, and I was just like, where do you guys get off thinking that? And so one of the things I told them when I was talking shit, I was like, you know what's interesting?
Massachusetts is like a fucking broke ass New York, right? Dude, it's a fucking wannabe New York.
I know. I've been to fucking
They're worse
Boston.
than Jersey.
Bro, oh my
outta
God.
here.
Dude, you know that place, Boston, that everybody loves? First of all, he said, we love Dominicans over here. That's when I drove over. He says, where do you think all the Dominicans want to be? I said, let me tell you something, buddy.
The Dominicans are over there just because they're cracking down on gangs over here.
Yeah, I said, listen, let me tell you something, buddy. I said, everybody who doesn't live in the States, when they talk about coming to the States, where they talk about coming to? Texas, New York, and California. None of them know about Massachusetts. Nobody outside of the States ever talks about dreaming to go to Massachusetts.
True story.
It's a nice place. I do think it's nice. Yeah, you guys got a good hospital, but it's not fucking New York, all right? And it is what it is. It just is what it is.
Yeah, no, that's fucking facts.
Nobody talks about going over there. Nobody dreams of fucking going to Massachusetts.
Wait a minute. You know what's crazy?
They got recreational marijuana.
This last time I was in Massachusetts, you know how many Puerto Ricans I saw? I saw my people everywhere.
Dude, there's a lot of Latinos over there, bro.
There were so many
There's a lot of Dominicans there.
Yo, I was in Walmart just to get firewood.
Yeah.
Bro, there were so many. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm thinking of Pennsylvania.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. I do know there's a lot of fucking Portuguese,
there
too.
There were so many Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania. I couldn't believe it. I was in Walmart, yo. I was like, that's a Boricua. That's a fucking Boricua. I was like, yo,
you're picking them out?
And I was picking them out. I was like, bro, your shape up is sharp. You got Tim's on. I said, you a New York motherfucker that transplanted over here.
You a New York.
I know you from the South Bronx. I fucking know you, bro. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, bro. You know what the difference between like different cultures is that we're already not from here. So for us to leave and go somewhere else, well, we ain't from here anyways.
Yo, we ain't shit.
So,
bro, we comfortable anywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on. Yeah, they go to these places like
I just put a coat on. Son.
Look at all the people that live in Schenectady. You ever been over there?
That's that like upstate New York?
Yeah.
Nah, never been.
That shit's like a little shitty Manhattan.
Really?
But there's a lot of colleges around there. It's like a little city. And there are a lot of motherfuckers that can't be over here or like life is a little bit easier over there. Same reason why people go to Pennsylvania. Same reason why some people go to Connecticut, Massachusetts, all these other states. I got nothing against them. It's just they're not here.
See, Massachusetts, man, because I interviewed for a couple jobs in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
I got both of them. And I didn't even interview. Well, one of them I got. It wasn't even an interview. It was just a job offer. And the other one was clearly an invitation to come there and interview, but probably get the job.
My girl got into 2 law schools in Massachusetts.
I'm curious. Why are Puerto Ricans and Dominicans going over there? Maybe we should go there. Would you ever move out of New York?
I asked when my wife was going to school in Massachusetts, I asked if she wants to move down there.
Because I'm absolutely considering leaving New York. I don't want to
I'm going to leave New York. 100%.
I don't want to live here. Yeah.
First of all, I don't have to live here because I fucking have the luxury of working from my fucking house.
I don't have to live here because I have the luxury of having a career that I could transplant any fucking where.
But I would have to move. My wife's not barred in every state.
Yeah, but you could fix that. I'm not licensed in every state, but all you got to do is just take a little fucking test and you'd be good. She's barred in New York, just like I'm licensed in New York, and that license means more than fucking anywhere else.
Yeah, but that's not the way the courts work. Yeah, so she could
right.
practice like federal law. She's not just barred in New York. She's barred in a couple states because
New York is so superior.
She took like a special bar. No, there's like a special bar
where you could be barred from multiple states.
Where you can. Well, what it is, and I know if she's listening to this, she's like, you're saying it wrong.
Nobody's probably gonna have her on as a guest.
Yeah, nobody fucking believes me anyways, honey. So take it easy. Listen.
And everybody knows this is why the podcast is called Masters of None, because we truly don't know shit.
We don't know anything.
So that's a disclaimer that's official. As soon as you read the title, you know we don't know shit.
I don't know shit. But I think that there's a test. It's like the UBRE or the UBEE. It's like a special bar, right?
Or the ESPN.
The ESPN. It's a special bar. You take this test, right? And then after you take the test, there's like 35 states that you could go to. And then take another test in that state, like a mini bar.
A mini bar, those are good.
And you pass that bar, you pass that test, and then you're barred in that state. She wasn't originally barred in New York. She was barred in Massachusetts originally.
Oh.
Then she came to New York.
Went to the mini bar.
Took the mini bar.
And became, And
then now she's barred in New York. So she could go to other states, but all the states that she could go to and take that little mini bar, first of all, she has to do it in an X amount of time, but all the other states, they fucking suck. The only one that's good on that list, that's even decent on that list, and I'm ashamed to even say this, is fucking Florida. But that's just give you an example of how shitty the other states are. You know what states she can't do? We can't go to Texas. If she goes to Texas, she has to take the whole bar again. We can't go to California. If she goes to California, she has to take a whole bar again. We can't go to Colorado. We can't go to
Texas, Cali, and Colorado are large targets.
Yeah.
in terms of moving.
Well, that's probably why they don't allow you to do that UBRE or UBEA or whatever the fuck.
Well, and I'm sure the law is substantially different. Texas is America. California is a foreign land that's communist. So it just, it really depends on what
it's totally different. But
and Florida is its own fucking planet.
It's its own fucking planet for sure. But what we originated on was if I would ever move. And the answer is yes. I think it'd be beneficial for me to move because of this opportunity. I've been like, because I don't have to be in the office. Like, and when I do have to go to the office, I have a coworker that I work with that lives in Texas. He's been living in Texas since I got the job.
Really?
Yeah. He just comes like once a month or whenever he has to.
Come here for some education or something? Or?
He comes to meet. He comes to do like client meetings, any kind of meetings. It just sets him up for like a week. They put him up in a hotel. He hangs out. And he goes back to Texas and he works from Texas. So you don't need to be,
I've really considered leaving.
In my realm of work, because it's not just like anything could be IT, right? But in the section of IT that I'm in, which is project management, I'd say I don't give a fuck. So in like the project management world, and from the IT perspective, in order to deploy initiatives, you don't need to be there, right? Because you're not doing any of the work. The resources are doing the work.
You just need to be able to contact
people.
You
just need to be able to organize it and deliver whatever you're going to deliver in a timely fashion within budget and deliver everything you promise to deliver. You don't have to be there, which is, why I enjoy mostly why I enjoy what I'm doing right now. And also why I think that sometimes I think when like opportunities come elsewhere and like I turn them down, I'm like, damn, did I make the right choice by turning down that opportunity? But at the same time, it's like, do I want to go back to I think about this all the time. Do I want to go back to wearing a fucking suit every day and working fucking 7 to fucking 6, 7 to 5, you know what I'm saying? Every fucking day, having a fucking set. Like, I used to think it was cool to have 2 cell phones. I don't need 2 cell phones anymore. I don't need a work phone anymore.
Fuck
dude,
that.
I used to have to carry around 2 fucking phones and always be available.
I know, bro. I did the same,
I don't know if I fucking want to do that anymore.
Nah. I mean, see, the thing is with my particular field, I have to be there physically.
Yeah. But
there are other jobs where I wouldn't have to be.
And there are upsides to being in the office. Working from home is not the end all be all of success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, and especially because I have it the best out of like my group. Dude, nothing against my team members. I love them all. But unfortunately, because of the circumstances that we're in, and we worked from home before the COVID. We worked from home 2 days a week before COVID.
Okay.
So, but 2 days a week, if you don't have an office, isn't that bad. 5 days a week, if you don't have an office and you're working in your kitchen, dude, it does damage to your back. If you live in a studio apartment and you and your counterpart works from home, it's fucking super hard. You guys are on top of each other, or you're already around each other already. If you split an apartment with somebody and you got to be in your room, it's not comfortable. You're working in your bed. Yeah. I already had an office in my house. Yeah. So for me, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking home. You know what the only difference is? What? I get to hang out with my dog every fucking day. And there's nobody for me to turn around and fuck with or to, have a conversation with or joke around with, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's the only difference. But when I get when people are like, I want to be back in the office because my wife works from home too. And, like we're just like on top of each other. There's behind that camera, you guys can't see it, but there's a desk.
Yeah.
And that's where my wife worked when she worked from home during the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
And it did kind of suck, like I went from being somewhere where I could say whatever I want and yell and scream. And then she's in meetings behind me. And it's like, I can't say anything now. I got to be silent.
You know what's funny, man? I was just talking with my buddy the other day. Because myself and my fiance, I got to get used to fiance. We both work in the same field. Mm-hmm. And our particular jobs, we have to be at the place where we work in order to make that job work out. But my buddy's wife she's a child psychologist and behavioral specialist.
Oh, she's a family trainer.
So yeah, exactly. She teaches people how to like train their out of control kids. Yeah. So she's in the other room and me and him are like talking. This is fucked up. I hope he doesn't watch this. We were talking on the phone and like we were all hyped up talking because we had both invested in this stock and shit. Shit was doing well and shit. So we were like going off on like yelling and shit. Yo, she comes out. She's like, yo, can you shut up? She's like, you're so loud. You just set off his ticks. He's on the fucking. He's like, she was doing like a FaceTime consultation and shit, and he was so loud, like the kid started like tweaking and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, yo. I was like, fuck, man. I was like, I'm so sorry, like, because we were FaceTiming, like being mad loud.
Yeah, and she's trying to work.
Yeah, she's like, why the fuck are you and your friends so fucking loud? They were in another room. Yo, she's like, you set off his ticks and shit. Like, fucked up. He fucked up.
We gotta start all over.
Yeah, I was like, oh no. I felt so terrible, yo. I was like, fuck.
Dude, a lot of people do that fucking, everything's virtual now, so you could do virtual therapy and stuff like that.
Bro, I just did a fucking virtual job interview for my new job.
Oh, was that virtual?
Yeah, I didn't go in.
What'd you wear?
I wore no pants and a dress shirt.
Okay, that's what I was expecting.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I dressed up completely because I wasn't sure if I was going to have to get up and do something. Like if they were like, oh, you want to go in and grab that paperwork we sent you or some shit. And then I was going to have to stand up, so I just...
I thought that you were going to wear what you currently wear to work.
No, I wore... No, I wore a suit.
I thought you were going to wear your current work uniform. Like, what you currently wear. That would have been kind of funny, though.
It would be hilarious.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. All right,
You're ready. He's so ready.
Oh, are you coming in today?
Yeah.
Was it a multi-person interview?
Yeah.
Quick tip, and you already got the job, so you don't fucking need it. But for our listeners, right?
Yeah.
But for them, we never look at the camera, which is important, but also I want to...
Not for a podcast, but we could give him a little shout.
This is for you guys. When you're going for an interview, this is scientifically proven. These little tips and trips that'll help you out. Like keeping your arms up. They say like this is like confidence building. It's like as opposed to like this.
I was like this.
No, that's good too. You don't do this during the interview.
Yeah.
You do this.
Oh, I was like, damn. I was like, I didn't do any of this.
No, I do this for a couple seconds. I go for a couple minutes outside in my car, keep my arms up, open up. I even feel better doing it right now.
Damn, really?
100%. I feel better right now.
I didn't do any of this.
I'm more confident. I go in there.
Maybe I would have got paid more.
I go in there and then boom, I'm open up. That's it. And then I go and then I say a couple good things about myself before I walk into the interview. Get myself fucking get a semi chub, and then I walk in there and I'm fucking full erect.
Yeah,
ready, ready. And and then you conduct yourself like a professional. And you take on the interview. But they have done studies with people, and like they'll have them sit in the lobby and like cross their arms and like sit closed, right? And then they'll have people who walk in the lobby chest up and do that hand thing.
I was doing push-ups.
They call this, I think, the Superman pose or something like that. There's like a name for it because like and it's like used and it works. It's like a real thing. I did that for my last interview. First of all, I didn't get a job I interviewed for.
Same.
Because I'm a fucking...
Well, there was one I didn't get, and it was age discrimination. The guy that interviewed me was significantly older than me, and at the end of the interview, they loved me. Everybody loved me, and then he asked me how old I was.
Inappropriate.
And I told him how old I was, and I never got a call back.
You should have lied to him. And then when they hired you, well, you wouldn't have known. But wouldn't it have been great if you lied to him, and then when he hired you, you're like, guess what? I'm 19.
Yeah, it's bullshit, but... that it is what it is. I was like, yeah, you just didn't, you just didn't want to, you didn't want to be dealing with someone that's younger than you, that's damn near equal to the position that you have, which I understand. I was significantly younger than him, so it is what it is. But that's what happens when you go to school and you educate yourself, and people decide to not educate themselves. And then guess what?
I think that's so funny.
Sorry, bro, I'm more qualified than you.
I think that's super funny that
you brought a knife to a gunfight. Sorry.
That there's people in industries, right, that you'll go to, and they've just been in it. They've succeeded in the industry by moving up, and I'm sure you're very, informed and capable. Yeah. But when you come into places with an education, and then these people start seeing you, they don't understand it, they don't get it. Like, why? Because he went to college, he deserved a job. And I went through this.
I know.
It's interesting to me that, and I don't think. I'm not going to say I was discriminated against because I was in school, but there was a job opportunity that didn't get the person who got it. They deserve it. Great for them. I'm happy for them. It is what it is. But I always thought it was interesting that anybody would think that they're able to compete with somebody because they've just been there longer, right? even if you're like not saying you're capable, you're not capable, but just strictly based off the time you've been there. And I tell people at my current job right now, like, don't think for a fucking second because just like X or Y have been here longer than you that they're gonna beat you out of a job. Like,
Yeah.
first of all, you better fucking hope that like it comes down to interviewing skills, your the power of your resume, and the relationships that you made.
Yeah.
You know, most importantly, the relationship you made.
Sure.
Your ability to interview is seemingly important. Is secondary, I would think, and then comes your resume, right? Because your relationship
First is your contacts and
first is your relationships. 100%.
That's number one.
Then comes your ability to fucking to carry yourself well in an interview.
Sure.
And like, you know, little
And
things.
prove that person that referred you correct.
Exactly. Dude,
That's your job.
if you know who's interviewing you, you should be looking this person up, finding out where they work, how long
Exactly.
they've been in
Look up the company's
Yeah.
mission. Look up their mission statement. Look up what's important to the company.
So you can align your priorities with the priorities of the institution you fucking want to work
Yeah,
for,
bro.
right?
Yeah. If you got a chick you're going to date that loves sushi, don't take her for a burger.
Yeah,
The fuck?
exactly, bro.
Take her for sushi.
Exactly. When I interviewed, I knew who I was going to interview. My second interview, when I interviewed for the second time, I knew who I was interviewing with. I looked him up. The guy worked for IBM for 20 years, right? Fucking huge company. And you know, when
Their stock's down. We should jump in. But go
is
ahead.
it?
Yeah.
So we're so towards the end of the interview, he asked me, did I have any questions for him? And I turned to him and I said, yeah, actually, you know, I know I kind of looked you up and I seen you worked for IBM for a long time, and I want to know, you know, what practices did you bring from IBM to this company that helped you succeed here? Or like,
Damn.
and he looks at me and he goes, and like looks down for a second. He goes, it's a good question. And he just starts talking and going in.
Damn,
bro.
that was good. They asked me if I had questions, and my questions were about salary and shit like that.
I know I didn't ask about my, but
Damn.
it's look up and we had we have an intern that, you know, I was talking to, and I was telling him about like in my interviewing strategies, hand up, blah blah blah. He thought I was crazy, right? A couple people thought I was crazy. Well, I'm not gonna look people up on the internet. A couple other people think I was crazy.
That's facts.
But you know what? I'm cool with that. You know what I tell them, right? I'm like, you know what? Don't listen to me.
That's cool. You're just less competition for me.
I don't need any more competition.
I appreciate it.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I tell people.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't agree with what I'm not right about everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an expert. But some of the things I'm saying, they can't hurt you to know.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to use it. More information doesn't hurt you. Your hands up before you go into an interview, even if I'm fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Even if I'm wrong and it works by placebo or it doesn't work at all, you lose
It didn't hurt
nothing
you.
trying it.
Yeah, exactly.
You lose nothing.
That's a fact.
I'm not telling you to go in there and spit into your hand and reach for the guy's zipper. That's not what I'm saying. Right? Because that would put you at risk.
That works in some industries.
Yeah.
But you gotta really play your cards right.
Yeah.
You gotta read those cards, boy.
Those are rare.
You better read them cards
What's
real
the expression?
good.
Far and few between.
That's it.
Yeah, that's not working all the time.
Yeah, nah.
But so you know, there's but yeah, those are three things that I think from my perspective that are
Agreed.
like, important when you're going to get a job.
I looked up the relationships, because the job that I'm talking about that I just got, there was no posting for. This job I was 100% referred to. Somebody asked me if I liked where I was working, and you never bash your previous employer.
Never.
Don't say you left because of management. Don't say you left because you don't like the job, because also that's like telling your new girlfriend that you left your old girlfriend because you just didn't like her. You didn't buy. That might help in the short term, but in the long run, she's going to think you're going to talk about her the same way.
Yeah.
So an employer envisions that as you're just going to talk about me the same way, about our company, the same way you're talking about your other company if we ever part ways.
Yeah.
So you never want to downplay your previous employer.
Or you're a crybaby bitch and nobody wants to hire one of those.
Nobody wants a little bitch in it working in there.
Little bitch boy.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. Lift your skirt. Come on, bro. Find your balls. So I was referred to this position. I was speaking with a person that I had been, and again, do not burn bridges and make sure that you just are cordial with people.
It's not even necessary to burn a bridge. I don't want anybody takes anything personal.
People are dumb. So this is a person that I had known from a previous position. I mean, 2 jobs ago in this company, I met this person and we worked together, and we had worked on and off together throughout the years. And then one day, randomly, I'm walking somewhere, she's walking somewhere, and she asked me if I like working here. So I said, yeah, I like working here. And she said, it's kind of crazy sometimes. And I said, yeah, it's a little crazy, you know. And she said, would you ever consider working in this avenue of this field? And I said, well, yeah, I would. I said, it's funny you say that, because I've actually put in for some positions in that sector. And she says, okay, do me a favor. And I'm like, what? She said, send me your resume. I happen to know some people that are actually looking for someone. And I said, okay, no problem. And I was like, and then of course you want to seal that right there. You do not let that opportunity go. You say,
don't drop the fucking
You
ball.
say, where am I sending it? Can I have your contact information? So I said, okay. I already had her phone number previously from contact that we had. So I was like,
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, this scenario I'm telling you?
I didn't know you had her number.
Yeah, I did, because previously I had to contact her through work.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. I said, I'll send it to your email. She says, cool. I said, I do have your phone number. She said, I'm not sure if I have you. I got a new phone. See, because if you don't confirm that, I could be sending messages or calling a person and she's got a different number now.
Ooh, that's the worst.
And then you miss that opportunity.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let me just confirm. She takes her phone out. I text her, same number. And I said, okay, cool. So she texts me her email. I send her my resume. 2 days later, I get an email from these people, super excited that she recommended me. 2 days later, I had an interview. 3 days later, I got a job offer.
It's nuts.
And that's how that worked. So, you a lot of stuff. And this job was not posted anywhere. People are asking me, oh, where'd you find that job? Where'd you find that job? I didn't find the job anywhere. Somebody recommended me.
Have you spilled the beans like at your current employer?
Yeah, I already put my time in.
Is there going to be a cake or something?
They better have a fucking cake.
Yeah, I'm going to be upset.
I better have at least a fucking cake. I better have some gifts. I better have some shit. No, I'm just kidding.
You might get a coffee mug. You see, if you would have been in your last spot, you definitely would have got a cake and some gifts.
Yeah,
a tie
true.
or two.
That's true.
You know how much fucking gifts I got when I left?
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I can't imagine that. I've been there so long, and I hold these people down. Some of these scenarios I've told you about.
Yeah.
So.
How long have we been going? What time is it? You've been looking at your clock a lot. I feel like we're having an excellent conversation.
I'm
today.
not looking at my clock. I just got a message, and this is a college. This is a college. It's been on my ass. Yo, college is such like it's a graduate program that continues to contact
Oh my God, bro.
It's a business
they will
now.
Never,
they will solicit.
Yeah, dude, they got a hold of my work email address and they fucking call me every week. I get an email from them. And you know what? The crazy thing is that if I apply and didn't get in, I would be fucking furious.
Yeah, yo, I'll tell you what. It's so funny because they want to hit me like it's business. I treat them like it's business. They call me and they're like, oh, we want to get you enrolled. We can take all your credits, blah, blah, blah. And I said, listen to me. You keep contacting me. Like there's like 3 different schools that keep contacting me. So I said, okay, you guys are clearly in the sales business, right? And they're like, well, no. We're in the education business. I said, no, you keep on soliciting me. So you're into sales. I said, so this is the deal. This is what I'm taking. This is how many credits I have left to finish. Can you make it faster or less credits and cost less? I'm like, well, how many credits do you have? I said, listen to me. You want me to leave my school and go over there? Make it easier. Make it cheaper, make it faster.
Are you going to finish that?
Yes. There's no reason not to. I have 4 classes left.
Okay.
So I'm like, make it easier, make it faster, and make it cheaper. Like, well, there's only so much we could do. I said, then stop calling me.
Yeah, stop fucking calling me.
Because you want to be into sales. You want to treat this like business. You want to be up my ass.
And tell the guy next to you that I have no fucking policy on my car. There's no policy on my car that's expiring.
Exactly. Tell the asshole next to me, next to you, that I don't need siding on my house.
Yeah.
I rent an apartment.
And guess what? I don't need solar power.
And don't call my mom either.
No, but you're right. They do solicit us. They solicit me by email all the fucking time.
Dude, they call me, they text me, they email me. I'm like,
they're making me feel like I already feel like I need to go get my master's. Like I have to do it, but they're making me feel like I'm behind the ball. I want to get a couple topics out because we are approaching our 2-hour mark.
All right, let's do it.
So one thing I wanted to talk about today, okay, I'm going to give this, like, sum it all up in one. 2 things. Mayweather, Jake Paul got pushed back, right?
Yeah, because nobody cares.
They sold they had the most pre-sales of pay-per-view for in combat sport history.
I did not know that. Well, nobody buys shit pre-sale. The reason they had it was that whole payment structure they had set up. The structure they had set up.
Oh, is this like when Tekashi went #1 because he was selling sweaters and shit?
And no, this is they had it set up. If you bought it early, it was like $20. If you bought it like 3 weeks in, it was $30.
So that's why.
If you bought it 4 weeks in, it was $50.
That's why they shattered all the.
If you waited till the day, it was like $80. So people were buying it super early just to get it cheap.
Okay, that makes fucking perfect sense of why they broke any fucking records. Fuck them. But did you also see that Ben Askren, who's fighting fucking
Jake Paul,
and
Jake Paul's gonna beat his ass. But go ahead.
He's
Did you see him punching that bag? Ben Askren, that video he put out punching that bag.
It's so disrespectful you would talk about an Olympian this way. Yeah,
he's an Olympic wrestler. Yo, I'll tell you the truth. I know multiple people that will box his face off. He wrestle fucked for a living.
Yo, a champion in multiple, he wasn't just a champion in Bellator.
He was a champion in mixed martial arts and used no striking.
He wasn't just a champion in Bellator. He was a champion in one FC
and one FC as well. Championship. But all he did was he did not strike anybody standing.
Olympic four-time All-American NCAA champion.
Wrestler. If you told me All-American boxer, he was an All-American wrestler.
Who then fought people.
Does this not sound familiar to you? Nate Robinson was...
No, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Three-time dunk champion.
Yo, all right, stop it right now.
Do you think Ben Askren would have knocked out Nate Robinson
100%.
You think he would have knocked him out the way Jake Paul did?
No.
He's a slow, stuck in the mud motherfucker.
Yeah, but you know what?
He's not explosive at all.
You cannot compare him to Nate Robinson, bro. This guy fights people for a living.
Yo, but this
guy dribbled the ball for a living years ago.
Nate Robinson is 10 times more explosive than him, which delivers knockout power.
It didn't.
But it's capable.
No, he can pass the ball real fast.
He can jump. That explosivity that he has delivers knockout power. That's what generates knockout power.
Yeah, but
Ben Askren, if you stood there and let Ben Askren punch you in the face, I guarantee you're not going out.
Listen, doesn't even matter, all right? Because you could win on points, right? Second of all,
he can't box with the precision it takes to win on points.
This is what's going to happen. Jake Paul is in no way, shape, or form going to knock him out, right? The guy's been hit with 4-ounce gloves, much harder by much tougher people. He's gone fucking 5 rounds multiple times with people. The guy's been punched at for more time than Jake's been punched at. It's undoubtable in my mind, I know we've argued this already, that Jake has more time training boxing than he does. A guy that's been in mixed martial arts, even if he fucking trained once a week, his whole fucking MMA career, he still would have more fucking boxing time than Jake Paul. He's not as big as Jake Paul. He's not as strong as Jake Paul, but he's been hit more times. He's been hit harder, and he's more of an athlete. He's more of a credentialed athlete than Jake Paul is. And Nate Robinson also was more of a credentialed athlete, but in a fucking, you're talking about fucking like a Winter Olympics and Summer Olympics. You're talking about putting up a
snowboarder versus a pole vaulter.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the fucking same.
True. But if you look at the way Ben Askren fights, if you see him hitting that bag, you see how square he is, how slow he is. That doesn't work for boxing. There's a reason that boxers angle off. It's a smaller target. It's a different sport. It's very different. This is like saying a pro wrestler can beat a wrestler.
But he's fought people with his hands before. I wasn't even want to talk about that
with
fight.
The option of the takedown.
Yes.
He just goes in and he takes down and he doesn't get hit and then he drags you down and then he beats you.
He beats you up
until the ref stops the fight.
You know he's fucking wrestling Floyd Mayweather?
What?
They're going to wrestle.
Who?
Ben Askren.
And Floyd Mayweather? No, they're not.
They're gonna wrestle, bro.
He can impregnate Floyd Mayweather.
They're gonna wrestle.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not joking. It's been announced. They're gonna wrestle.
I don't believe it.
I've seen it. I don't know if it's a scam and I'm just fell for it.
Yeah, you fell for it,
bro. I'm telling you, they're gonna wrestle.
I don't believe it. That's not true.
Dude, they got a picture of Floyd in a singlet.
That's it.
I swear to God.
Shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking mouth.
I'm not joking. I see the picture. Look it up right now. Is it real? Floyd Mayweather is going to wrestle Ben Askren.
I don't believe
I'm not joking, bro. He says, I think Ben Askren said, after I pin him flat, I'm going to do this and that. It's so fucking funny. But yeah, that's what I really wanted to talk about. That's why I was bringing him up.
I don't
because he's going to wrestle Mayweather.
I don't believe it for a second.
They're going to wrestle.
That's not going to happen.
I want to look it up so I can show you the image of him fucking in the singlet. But Ben.
No, that's some trolling shit. That's Floyd Mayweather's trolling. That's
listen. It very well could be a fucking troll that I fucking fell for.
That's some trolling ass shit, bro. No fucking way.
But I don't doubt it. He's gonna, and then he said, he said, after this, I'm gonna continue to, dude, it's all over the news.
I don't believe it.
Ben Askren announced his wrestling match with Floyd Mayweather. Ben Askren shows off his bizarre boxing technique. I don't,
His bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a troll and I just fell for it, or if it's for real. But he said after this, he's gonna continue to beat. He said because like I get for beating people at stuff that they don't do just because they're popular is fun to him or some shit like that, which is exactly what's happening. First of all, I think we as the fighting community, as the people who are absorbing most of this combat sports, we need to fucking stop entertaining this fuck shit. It's honestly, after this one, enough. We can't. It's ruining things.
Yeah,
I don't want to see it anymore. It's not good for the sport. I don't want to see these cocksuckers that are just really popular coming into a sport.
I agree.
And like, what?
It's disrespectful
who gives a fuck that Nate Robinson and Jake Paul fucking fight? We shouldn't give a fuck about them fighting. We're giving them way too much of this combat sport
of the fight fan base.
Yeah, because they're not real fighters.
They're not real fighters.
Because if they fought real fighters, they get fucked up.
Yeah, because what's sad is more people are going to watch that than are going to watch Frankie Edgar and fucking Corey Sandhagen fucking go at it tomorrow night. And that's a travesty.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. Which is, but again, it's for the casuals. It's for the fucking clowns.
I think listen, if they put the fucking kid on the undercard of a fucking fight night fight, cool. That's really bringing fans into the sport. Mike Tyson did an interview with Jake on Impulsive, and he talked about how he thanks him for bringing so much awareness to the sport. But the reality of it is that these people aren't going to return. They're not going to continue watching it. They're not watching.
It's not a gateway to them watching a competitive boxing match.
Exactly.
I understand. I get it.
And what's your retention going to be? I don't think the retention is going to be large for someone to transition from watching Jake to watching fucking Ryan Garcia or something like that. Yeah. And even Ryan Garcia is super mainstream.
But I don't care about boxing because boxing in itself has done this to itself. We shouldn't wait 4 years for great fighters to fight each other. We shouldn't be waiting. Why has Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury not happened yet? Why has this not happened yet? Because it's bullshit over there. In MMA, the best fight the best. And that's why MMA will never be affected by this clown show. Boxing is being hurt by this clown show because boxing is just a bunch of people avoiding to fight each other.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are the best not fighting the best? Why is this like a dance where nobody wants to compete? Nobody wants to fight each other. The promoters are getting fat, counting their money, and nobody is fighting.
I don't know how the fuck they're making any money. It's fucking mind blowing to me how the fuck these guys are getting any fucking money.
Because they have these cult followers that are just against MMA. That's who watches boxing. People that are still against MMA. They don't want MMA to win, but then they're low key like, oh my God, see that head kick? Like, look at how many celebrities are into MMA now because it's so much more invigorating to watch MMA. If you give MMA a chance and you get past the fucking, this is brutal, blah. It is not brutal.
It's not as brutal as a guy getting knocked out cold and then standing him up and letting him keep fighting.
Exactly. Boxing is brutal. People die in the ring all the fucking time in boxing. That doesn't happen like that in MMA. MMA is safer. You catch an armbar and tap, you're going to train tomorrow. You catch a fucking concussion the whole time and just because you stayed on your feet, no. You're getting a CT scan, you probably have a brain bleed and you're going to die.
Yeah, there's going to be some funny, murky shit running around in there.
Yeah, like, come on with that shit. Look at boxers after they retire and look at MMA fighters after they retire.
Some of them, yeah. Unless you're talking about like, Chuck Liddell and shit, these guys but he has a drinking problem. So he has like probably hepatic encephalopathy on top of having a head injury. Do you see Nate Diaz? Who do you call out? I fucking knew it up until like 2 minutes ago when I fucking. He wants to fight at 170. He wants to fight at 170, but who's he want to fight? He called somebody out. He needs to not fight at 170. Those guys are too big and they'll fuck him up. Nate Diaz is going to get his fucking ass whooped at 170. I don't think he's going to. He can't beat a single guy at 170. I don't think he can beat anybody at 170. Fucking Colby Covington will fuck him up. Kamaru Usman will
fuck him up. Jorge Masvidal already fucked him up. He can't compete at 170.
Dude, that fight finished too early. We talked about this. We talked about this last time.
He
that
was
fight
gonna fucking murder that
dude,
man.
it's a 5-round fight.
best thing that happened to him was that cut.
You know that we've watched fights where things like that happen in the first couple rounds, and then people start heating up, and they start getting the
I guess the upper hand and starting to get their second.
No,
win.
they start getting the timing. That's what I was gonna say. You get that timing in, man.
I mean, I guess, but to me, I think that he stood no chance in that fight. Jorge Masvidal kicked him in the fucking head in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and put him on his ass.
It's a 5-round fight though.
I guess you're right.
Against somebody like that.
So
he could have pulled a sub, bro. Like, you don't gotta win.
He's not gonna sub him. That motherfucker trains with killers.
You ain't gotta win.
He wrestles and competes with killers. He wasn't gonna sub him.
He wasn't gonna. He
wasn't gonna sub him.
Nah,
that was an ass kicking. That was the worst ass kicking Nate Diaz has ever experienced in his life. But then again, you look at
fucking way.
Go rewatch it.
Worst ass kicking he's received in his life.
Go rewatch it. Dude, I'm telling you,
he walked out of the Connor fights looking worse than he walked out of that fight looking. That cut wasn't even from that fight.
What? He came in with that cut?
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
That cut was from his last fight. It wasn't exposed.
Bro,
he just opened it up.
Face open.
No, that cut in his eye, he got that cut in his last fight.
Rewatch that.
It opened up. It's just like I don't know how skin works. I'm not a dermal guy. I don't know. I don't know how skin works.
No, you're right. Scar tissue and stuff. He gets ripped open every fight.
You know that fight. I just can't remember who he fought the fight before that fight.
Conor McGregor.
No, it wasn't Conor. No, it wasn't Conor. Maybe it was Conor, but I don't think it was.
I think it was.
But he got that scar. He got that cut before he got that cut from another fight. Go ahead, say what you want to say, because I do think that it'd be very intelligent of us to wrap up soon because of the.
I have nothing else to say. That's it.
You have nothing else?
No, I know Paige Van Zandt is fighting tonight. Bare knuckle. But we
please
can't
don't hurt her pretty face.
I just hope that she doesn't get her ass whipped. I think I want her to win so bad, bro. I want her to win so bad and just like rep for the pretty girls, especially.
Yeah, she seems like such a nice person,
especially after Stephen A. Smith saying that crazy shit.
What the fuck did Stephen A. Smith say about her?
Oh, just in general. He said he doesn't think women should be fighting. He doesn't want to see women fight. He said it's something that he will never be into, women punching each other. He says it's just like not for him, which I guess I understand.
I never, ever, even before you said this, want to hear a fucking word about what that guy has to say about fucking MMA.
Me
never.
Me neither.
Shut the fuck up, Stephen A. Smith.
You didn't see what I posted on my Instagram?
No.
I posted him hitting pads versus the Killer Bee hitting pads.
Oh my God.
Yo, it's insane. You ever see him hit pads?
Yeah. Doing the cock shots.
Punching a baby.
Yeah.
Punching a fucking 3-year-old and then that terrible uppercut.
Yeah, bro. Dude, if I never fucking hear
you know
that
who
guy.
I want to see Jake Paul fight? Stephen A. Smith. We're going to wrap with that because we got to go.
That's it.
We're going to dinner
Masters
right now.
of None, episode 14 is finito.
It's a wrap.
That's it.
We got some good fights tonight, good fights tomorrow. It's going to be a good fight week, man. We got some bare knuckle shit going on tonight.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl
Tom Brady
Sunday.
going to the Super Bowl first time playing for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Taking him to the fucking Super Bowl.
He's a motherfucker, that Tom Brady.
Holy fuck.
You know he don't even lift no weights? You know that man just stretches and uses band work, resistance bands? That's like all he does.
Really?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And he said he's the strongest and most fit he's ever been. Dude, he's in his 40s. He's in his 40s going to a Super Bowl as the best quarterback that ever lived.
Dude, he literally did like the Northeast American dream, like I'm going to Florida to retire.
Yeah.
Except he went to Florida and he picked up a side job and I take him to the fucking Super Bowl. That's it.
That's
we gotta
it.
Go.
What are we doing?
Episode 14.
What?
And this one's labeled too.
Masters of None, episode 14.